Welcome to another episode of last week's comics. Today I've got a short stack, hopefully a shorter video, but I want to start with Sexcastle from Kind of Starks there. So after reading Kill Them All recently, I was reminded of how much I enjoy Kind of Starks' work, and in that there was, I think, an interview at the end of it where he talks about Sexcastle, and I'm like, I should probably go grab that because I've enjoyed everything else. And this is an action romp about the former world's greatest assassin moving to a small town. It starts... this baby was born mean. This is how it starts, and then it switches over to the main character getting out of prison. And there's this panel that I love. I'll show you this real quick. It's this line: I slid out of my mama's who. This is like page 7, 8. Oh man, it's so great. Anyway, this guy, world's greatest former world's greatest assassin, moves to a small town and gets pulled back in. So I'm only maybe 10 pages into this, but I'm enjoying the hell out of it so far. Huck, Big Bad World, issue 3. This kind of confirms for me something that I've believed for a while, which is this series is not good. I'm drawing the line here. I canceled my pre-orders for issues 4 and 5. I don't care for... I still like Huck. Huck is great. The mom... I think part of it, it's a combination. I'll complete a sentence. But it's a combination of, I don't think the art nor the writing is as good as it should be, as it was in the original series. I think Albuquerque's faces in particular are weird, but I'm not a fan of the art on the series, even though I am a fan of Albuquerque in general. And the story here, I just don't care about anything that's happening. I'd like to know what happens with Huck and his girlfriend, but that's about it. And I'm not gonna continue paying for this. It's bad. It is legit bad. The Sixth Gun, Battle for the Six, issue 1. This is the variant Chris Mitten cover, and I'm gonna have a hard time talking about this because if you're not already familiar with both the Sixth Gun and Shadow Roads, it's gonna be hard. If this is your first entry into the world, it's gonna be rough because this starts as if it's Act 3 of movie 3 of a trilogy, and you're supposed to know all of this other stuff, and there's supposed to have been this build-up. What is basically happening here is there are two groups. There is a cabal, and then there are all of these people allied against that cabal. And here's the cabal. And they are both striving for something. I won't go into that because it will get very complex very quickly. But I will say that in general, I enjoy Cullen Bunn. I enjoy maybe half of Cullen Bunn's stuff. Some of it's more horror-oriented than I care for. But so this is a lot of Sixth Gun characters, and I remember a chunk of this, especially these characters and some of these guys in there. But like, that's a nice reminder if you've already read it. The Shadow Road stuff does not get, and it was a short series to begin with, but the Shadow Roads characters don't really get reintroduced, and there's a bunch of new characters, and this is the heroes, I'll say. And so it's super weird. It's incredibly weird, and I don't know. Here's my kind of expectation, possible hope? I'm not sure. The only way this makes sense to me, if this is only supposed to be a 3-issue series, if the heroes wind up winning, it's going to feel like a giant waste of time because there isn't the buildup. This should be a climactic conclusion to a long-running series, and instead it's only 3 issues, and so it's super weird in that regard. So my only thought is that actually the Cabal is going to win, and that's going to then kick off a new series where then the heroes are on the back foot, underdogs trying to undo what has been done. I have no idea. I'm along for the ride. It's only 3 issues. I can stick out 3 issues, but it's not something I can recommend to new readers. There's plenty of other work from the team of Bunn and Hurt. If you're curious about this, go grab the original Sixth Gun, grab Damned. There's a bunch of options. I enjoy those other books. This is not one that I can recommend at the present time. Maybe once it's concluded. I have no idea. And lastly, for me this week is Sleep issue 3. This is probably a spoiler cover. This is cover B. So what has been happening is our main character here, there is basically every time he goes to sleep something horrible happens. This is, I think, Tuesday? Does it say Tuesday? So each issue so far has been 1 day, and he keeps waking up to new levels of destruction, death around this town and in his home. And the thought, and somewhat guided by this Conspiracy Corner letters that are here in the back, the only thing that I could wrap my head around so far was werewolf, but that wouldn't be a consecutive on a nightly basis thing. So he goes to sleep, he wakes up, something horrible has happened around the town. Destruction, death, and this is probably what he's turning into? Question mark? Still unclear. But this is an 8-issue series. I'm loving it. Art's great. The story is super intriguing, mysterious. We've got all of these red-colored objects in an otherwise black and white book, and he goes to a place, and there's a new color introduced, and I have no idea what that means. But I'm really curious to learn more about that. Anyway, he knows something is happening, and spoilers for the end of the book. If you want to skip ahead, do that now, because look at all this. There's a lot of red. Here's where the book is leading. So, yikes. And here's how it ends. Still like 5 issues to go? I don't know what's happening. I'm loving it though. This is actually pick of the week because I don't know what to make of this, and I just straight up did not enjoy this. This broke me as far as Huck goes. So Sleep gets pick of the week, and I have resumed reading One Punch Man, which I had taken a break from for a few months, and I'm reading this. Possible videos coming soon on those things, but I'm loving this, loving Sleep, and just go read earlier Sixth Gun. It's been collected multiple times. It should be available, and then if you're still curious, then grab Shadow Roads, which I think only has 1 trade because it was maybe 6 or 8 issues that got out before it was canceled. Anyway, that's everything that I got this week. All of this, including Sexcastle, came from my local comic shop. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find the one closest to you. Thanks for watching.